By the dawn of the 15th century, the Byzantine Empire was but a shadow of its former glory, encircled by the rapidly expanding Ottoman Empire. Once the unassailable seat of orthodoxy and a hub of trade and culture, Constantinople was now the dual sultan. Mehmed II was determined to claim for the burgeoning Ottoman prestige. The strategic position of Constantinople, straddling the Bosporus, had long made it a coveted prize among empires. Its fall would not only signify a shift in power, but would also symbolize the decline of Christendom in the face of Islam. Set against this backdrop, the siege of Constantinople in 1453 wasn't merely a military campaign, but a pivotal moment that was centuries in the making, a clash foretold by prophets and feared by kings. Sultan Mehmed II, a visionary leader with a profound understanding of both the symbolic and strategic importance of Constantinople, saw the city not just as a conquest, but as a necessity. His ambitions were rooted deeply in the desire to bridge the continents and to transform his empire into a dominant power that controlled both the East and the West. Mehmed's preparations were thorough, focusing on modernizing his military and integrating the latest in siege technology. He was not only a conqueror, but also a reformer who strengthened the administrative and military capabilities of the Ottoman Empire, ensuring it could sustain prolonged sieges such as that of Constantinople. His personal motivations intertwined with the geopolitical motives. Capturing Constantinople was to fulfill a divine prophecy and to etch his name alongside the great rulers of history. This blend of personal ambition and strategic foresight set the stage for one of history's most famous sieges. The siege of Constantinople was marked by significant advancements in military technology, particularly in the field of artillery. Mehmed II enlisted the help of Orban, a Hungarian cannon founder who had once offered his services to the Byzantines. When they couldn't meet his price, Mehmed did, leading to the creation of the Great Turkish Bombard, an immense cannon capable of firing a 600-pound stone ball. These cannons were transformative in siege warfare, capable of breaching walls that had withstood centuries of attacks. The logistical challenge of moving and deploying these cannons was enormous, involving thousands of oxen and hundreds of men. The use of such massive artillery pieces required innovative tactics, altering traditional siege approaches. Mehmed's strategic placement of his cannons, targeting the weakest sections of Constantinople's walls, demonstrated his adept understanding of both technology and tactics. The siege officially began on April 6, 1453. Mehmed II's forces surrounded Constantinople, cutting off any escape or reinforcement routes. The Byzantines, under Emperor Constantine the Great, were outnumbered and outgunned, but not without resources of their own. They used the massive chain across the Golden Horn to block the Ottoman navy and repaired walls overnight where they could. The initial phase of the siege saw a constant barrage from Ottoman cannons, testing the resilience of the ancient city's walls. Despite the relentless assault, the morale of the city's defenders remained high, driven by the symbolic importance of their city and the leadership of Constantine the Great. This phase set the tone for the siege, highlighting the stark contrast in resources and manpower between the two sides, yet also showcasing the strategic ingenuity and brave resistance of the defenders. The role of artillery in the siege cannot be overstated. The Ottoman Empire's use of gunpowder to power their cannons marked a significant shift in how sieges were conducted. The walls of Constantinople, which had been impervious to traditional siege engines and tactics, were not equipped to handle the explosive power of gunpowder. The psychological impact of these cannons was profound, as the defenders witnessed their once impenetrable walls begin to crumble. The sound of the cannons, heard miles away, sent a clear message of Ottoman technological superiority and determination. Artillery power reduced the duration of the siege and increased its intensity, forcing the defenders to adapt quickly to this new era of warfare, where traditional defensive strategies were becoming obsolete. Despite the formidable Ottoman artillery, the defenders of Constantinople employed several effective strategies. They utilized makeshift repairs on walls using sacks filled with earth, absorbed the impact of cannonballs, and maintained a system of rotational defense to keep fresh troops at the most vulnerable points. Emperor Constantine the Great himself was often seen on the walls, encouraging his soldiers and organizing the defense. The use of Greek fire, an incendiary weapon that could continue burning even on water, was also employed to great effect against the Ottoman fleet. These strategies showcased the resilience and adaptability of the Byzantines, who, despite facing overwhelming odds, managed to prolong the siege and inflict significant casualties on their assailants. Throughout the siege, several critical confrontations shaped the course of events. Notable among these was the battle for the Kirkaporta Gate, where a small force of Ottoman troops managed to infiltrate the city, sowing chaos among the defenders. This moment was pivotal as it demonstrated the vulnerabilities in the city's defenses and the relentless pressure imposed by the Ottoman forces. It also marked a significant psychological blow to the defenders, as the realization set in that the city could indeed be breached. The fierce hand-to-hand combat that ensued highlighted the desperation and valor of the defenders, who, aware of the high stakes, fought with everything they had to repulse the invaders. The final assault on Constantinople began in the early hours of May 29, 1453. Mehmed II unleashed a coordinated attack on multiple fronts, overwhelming the weary defenders. The walls, already weakened by weeks of bombardment, were finally breached. The Ottomans surged through the gaps, engaging in brutal combat with the defenders. Emperor Constantine the Great was seen fighting alongside his men, embodying the spirit of Byzantine resistance. The fall of the city was imminent as Ottoman soldiers flooded the streets, capturing key strategic points. The capture of Constantinople was not just a military victory, but also a symbolic one, marking the end of an era and the beginning of Ottoman dominance in the region. In the immediate aftermath of the fall, Constantinople was subjected to 3 days of plunder, as was customary following a siege. Despite this, Sultan Mehmed II eventually proclaimed an end to the looting and declared the city safe for those who had survived the siege. The social fabric of the city changed dramatically, while Mehmed II sought to repopulate the city, inviting people from across his empire. The demographic and cultural landscape of Constantinople began to transform. Churches were converted into mosques, and the Hagia Sophia became a symbol of the Ottoman conquest. The fall significantly impacted the Byzantine elites, many of whom fled to the west, carrying with them precious manuscripts and knowledge that would later fuel the Renaissance. The fall of Constantinople had profound strategic implications, securing the Ottoman control over trade routes between Asia and Europe and enhancing their naval capabilities. Symbolically, the victory was portrayed as a fulfillment of Islamic prophecy, boosting Mehmed II's prestige, both domestically and in the broader Muslim world. The psychological impact on Europe was tremendous, igniting fears and leading to increased militarization, particularly in neighboring states. The fall also prompted a re-evaluation of military tactics, given the demonstrated power of artillery. This event reshaped not only regional, but also global politics, heralding the rise of the Ottoman Empire as a major power. The Siege of Constantinople is often cited as a turning point in military history, showcasing the transformative impact of gunpowder and artillery. These technologies spread throughout Europe, altering the design of fortifications and changing the nature of warfare. The legacy of the siege in military tactics continued to influence European warfare strategies for centuries. Fortifications became lower, thicker, and angled to better deflect cannon fire, a direct adaptation to the artillery's destructive power. The siege's lessons in logistics and coordination also informed future military campaigns, emphasizing the importance of integrating technology with traditional combat strategies. The fall of Constantinople acted as a catalyst for the migration of Greek scholars to Italy, which significantly contributed to the Renaissance. These scholars brought with them classical texts, previously inaccessible to Western Europe, sparking an intellectual revival. This intellectual migration enriched the cultural landscape of Europe, introducing Greek philosophy, science, and literature. The influx of these ideas played a crucial role in shaping the humanistic foundations of the Renaissance, influencing figures such as Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo. The Renaissance, fueled in part by the knowledge from the East, led to a cultural flourishing that would define the modern age. The fall of Constantinople has remained a potent symbol throughout history, representing the clash of civilizations and the transition from the medieval to the modern world. Its legacy is evident in literature, film, and art, where it is often depicted as a turning point in world history. In contemporary times, the event is studied not only for its historical significance, but also for its broader cultural and geopolitical implications. It serves as a reminder of the impermanence of empires and the transformative power of military and cultural shifts. The memory of Constantinople continues to inspire discussions on cultural identity, resilience, and adaptation, resonating with global audiences even today. The fall of Constantinople in 1453 was more than just the end of a city. It was a watershed moment that reshaped the world in myriad ways. From altering the balance of power in the Mediterranean to catalyzing the cultural rebirth of the Renaissance, its effects are still evident in modern geopolitics and culture. As we reflect on the siege, we are reminded of the profound impact of technology on warfare, the resilience of cultures under siege, and the enduring legacy of intellectual exchange. The fall of Constantinople stands not only as a testament to the inexorable march of empires, but also as a beacon of the human spirit's capacity to influence and adapt to the tides of history. The story of Constantinople is a poignant reminder of our shared past and a guidepost for understanding the complexities of the present and the uncertainties of the future.